ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. Gonna do my Monday Night Raw review, November 27th, 2023. We are in the Fallout of Survivor Series. We are 2 nights after Survivor Series. Monday Night Raw was a very good show. We have new storyline, new feud. We had some new matches. We had some new programs going on in Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on this Friday. This show was about two people. It's about Randy Orton, who opened the show, and CM Punk, who ended the show. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. My video is sponsored by JD from New York, the Wrestle Talk, the Wrestle, the Post Wrestling, the Fight for Pro Wrestling, the Good Network Commentary, the Grim Experience. I got more than ways to hit that like button. My video will probably be maybe like an hour and 30 minutes. I will go through all the matches. I'll go through the news and rumors. Here we go. Now, I'm gonna show y'all the ending. Well, obviously I can't show it, but I'm gonna show y'all. I want y'all to hear what CM Punk said. Competition. Hold on.
I mean, hell froze over. I mean, this is me.
Hold on.
Looks like hell froze over. And when I mean hell froze over, I mean this is me standing in a WWE ring on Monday Night Raw with a live microphone in my hand. I don't mean the fact that apparently a Blackhawks fan is universally loved inside the Predators barn. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to. You guys understand that. I gotta be me, right? And lately, I've been feeling a little bit more like myself ever since Saturday, which was a career highlight for me. I've been trying to come up with the words and the language to explain to all of you exactly how I feel. And I've come to two words, and I'm afraid to say them, honestly. And it's not because they're not true. It's because I'm a little bit scared of how true they actually are. And it's a little bit corny, and it's a little bit cheesy, and it's not going to sound like CM Punk. But I've changed. And once upon a time, an American dream taught me that as long as you speak from the heart, you cannot go wrong because it is the truth. And this is the truth. I'm home. I've come back to this familiar place, and I didn't know how I was going to react, and I didn't know how it was going to go, but it's made me feel like my old self, because this is where I belong. This is home, and I've been gone for 10 years, and over 10 years, you people never forgot me, even when maybe I wanted to forget me. And that's powerful. You are all powerful. A bunch of continents, countless countries, arenas all over the world, the people watching at home, the people in the building never stopped chanting my name. The voiceless found their voice, and I couldn't be more proud of you, and I heard you. And that's why I'm back, because I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys, and I missed you guys, and I missed all this, and I wish I could say I never had to leave. But once upon a time, A wise man told me for me to get everything I need out of this place, I'd have to leave and come back. Hate to say the wise man was right. But that's why I'm back to get everything I need out of this place. I'm back for you because you are home. Saturday night was an amazing moment. Monday night is an amazing moment. Try to have the words to explain to you how it feels, but in front of and behind the camera, it's been nothing but love. It's been nothing but hugs. It feels like a family reunion. Everybody back there is happy to see me, and it's all smiles. A few people kissed me on the mouth. It's welcome back, welcome home. We've missed you. We're happy to see you. By the way, how's AJ? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, AJ is fabulous, and she sends her regards. Everybody has welcomed me back with open arms. Well, almost everybody. Some people are afraid. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of what they don't understand, but I understand. Everything I've ever wanted has always been here. The competition here, week in and week out, competes to be the best in the world, but the best in the world has not been here for almost 10 years. I understand being afraid. They're afraid that I just set the bar to an unattainable level. They're afraid that the brass ring is in my back pocket and they can't grab it. They're afraid that the most dangerous and controversial, feared man in this industry just walked through the front door and there's nothing that they can do about it. Some people are afraid that tomorrow morning when they wake up, they're going to have to come to terms with the fact that their best efforts at being the best in the world, in this ring, on this microphone, even a commentary, isn't just false, but it's a lie. Because the best in the world is back, and the best in the world is standing in the middle of the ring, live and in living color in Nashville, Tennessee, on a Monday night, and his name is...
And that's how the show ended. He said he's back. He's not here to make friends. He's here to make money. That was kind of like a heel turn. Now that promo he talked about Dusty Rhodes when he said the American Dream. He referenced Dusty Rhodes. He also said the White Man. So he referenced Paul Heyman. And when he said that some people don't like him back there, possibly Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins on this show called CM Punk a hypocrite. Because Seth Rollins came out earlier in the show, and fans were singing along to a theme song. Fans were chanting for CM Punk, and Seth didn't like it, and Seth called him a hypocrite.
Good to see you.
So clearly,
Let the world see.
Oh, hold on.
No.
So clearly, there's some tension and the tease is there with CM Punk. All right. CM Punk is back. Now let's watch the other podcast first.
Then he goes, "Daddy's back," and
Yeah. Huh? Oh. Hold on.
It's kind of like, you know what I mean? How do you end on the best segment? Well, you start with a
Yeah, so there's a lot of tension. Now, they could be setting up CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, obviously, I think that will happen because there wasn't teasers there, so there could be foreshadowing.
Man, doesn't it feel like they could immediately be going that route? I think Drew McIntyre is going to become world heavyweight champion. You've heard me say that over the last 3 or 4.
I've got to mention now, as you guys heard, CM Punk did bring up AJ Lee. Who knows? I mean, AJ could come back. Who knows if AJ wants to make a return since the Huntins in WWE. So CM Punk says I'm home. AJ sends her regards. Drew McIntyre snaps on Seth Rollins. Randy Orton has a receipt for Jey Uso. Nakamura spoils Cody Rhodes in Royal Rumble announcement. Judgment Day coming for Damian Priest after losing at War Games. The Creed brothers are the contenders to face Judgment Day for the tag team titles. We have the women's tag team match. Not gonna go through it. CM Punk's return on Survivor Series had already become the most watched social media moment in WWE history. 70 million views, and the most on Twitter. On videos of all time, 25 million views. Unbelievable. We have Dixie Carter spotted backstage at Raw. She was visiting friends. The other news and rumor, Tammy Sitch, aka Sunny, was sentenced earlier today. 17 years in prison for a fatal DUI audio accident. DT breaks down the sentence. The earliest it can be released. They're probably 15 years. It didn't show main event here. Now, like I said, the Creed brother defeated. They beat Otis and Tozawa. They beat Indus Share. They beat DIY, New Day, Imperium. They won the tag team turbo match, so they'll face the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. They get an opportunity. They're a very good tag team. They look very, very strong. We had a great match with Ivar and Bronson Reed that ended in a double countout. That's going to continue the feud probably next week. Hopefully one of these guys are going to be built up to face Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Ivar's been having great matches to build up Ivar. Maybe they can do Ivar and Gunther and he can build up real good. He's been having great matches with the New Day, now Bronson Reed. Also, we had Nia Jax beat Zoe Stark. This match went like 6 or 7 minutes. The match was nothing. Zoe Stark competed for the Women's Championship at Survivor Series against Rhea Ripley, had a fine match, and here's to get jobbed out to Nia Jax. What a waste. Nia Jax might be on TV. We also got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They defended the Women's Tag Team Championship against Tegan Nox and Natalya. Who gives a shit? The less I talk about this match, the better. And Randy Orton defeated Dominic Mysterio in the main event. Wow. Alright, come on.
Honestly,
I'm not sure if they fought back when tragic
died or something.
Oh, I didn't know there was on already. CM Punk's first war in 10 years. Alright, now let's go through the other podcasters. These are the other podcasters who are going to be doing their reviews. Alright. And this is what happened on Monday Night Raw. That's how the show opened up. Randy Orton returned to Raw for the first time in 18 months, interrupted by the Judgment Day. And then Randy Orton and Dominic in the main event of Raw. Match was fine. I'm glad they got it out of the way so we can move on. Randy Orton feud with the Judgment Day. I don't mind it because it's something that we haven't seen. I would like to see Randy Orton against Finn Balor or Damian Priest. We also got R-Truth meet Jollywood. Jollywood was on the show tonight. R-Truth, so glad to see R-Truth back. R-Truth was very entertaining. Is actually a very good character. Had a very interesting segment here. And then we got the Judgment Day backstage. Whitley assured Priest that he would not have fought in more games lost. So something going on there. That will probably be teasing with Judgment Day. And like I said, we had the tag team turmoil. I don't like how DIY it being shafted again. Now they DIY coach against Alpha Academy and Ender Share, and then they were shafted. And then the Creed brother came victorious. They beat DIY and they beat Imperium. We also got this ridiculous segment, R-Truth, Issei Jollywood in the Judgment Day clubhouse. Yeah, Jollywood. I don't know. It is weird. Also, this Friday on SmackDown, Logan Paul will be showing up. For the first time since Crown Jewel, he'll be on SmackDown. Look for his first challenger. And like I said, we had that match in the count out. And then we had Nakamura and Cody Rhodes. That's going to be a fuse. That's going to be a Monday Night Raw. Nakamura sprayed Miss and Cody after Cody Rhodes announced his announcement. His Royal Rumble announcement. And then we got some backstage segments here. Miz wants another champ. At this point, fuck off with the Miz. Try and get a rematch. Fuck off with that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna move on. The Creed brothers have their sight on the Judgment Day. They didn't announce when this match can happen. Probably in a few weeks. It may be a few for them, I guess. We know that next week, Drew McIntyre to kick off Sami Zayn next week on Raw. And they also announced Seth Rollins and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title next week. Yeah. Ah, come on.
Saturday night. Here's the order of events because despite us laying it out many times, I'm trying to give you guys the details. At WWE Fastlane, there were no plans to bring in CM Punk. There had been no talks as of that point. To the point to where Triple H actually expected to get asked, and he wasn't. Some great baby faces. I'd have to really go back in time a long way to find that many baby faces in the company at the same time that could legitimately get behind an emotionally invested kid. And that's a big credit to WWE. The fact that they're able to pull that off. The product is pretty damn exciting right now, even without CM Punk. CM Punk coming in just adds a whole nother dimension of what ifs, and I love stuff like this because it's content. I'm a content creator. It had a different feel. It had an underground alternative feel. It does not have that same feel. So all I feel by as a fan, it does feel different. And somewhere in there, I'll give a whole lot more specific people. All cash offers that had better terms, and the argument is that there were better deals on the table where WWE could have made a straight cash deal.
Guys out here. I mean,
Embarrass himself. This did breathe, and then the Creed wanted to win. Hell, and now I'm in the song, which is the new version, by the way. They used old Titantron, old renders, all that stuff. Just unbelievable. Reps didn't know. Heads of creative had no idea. They had to rewrite a lot of Raw tonight, which they really squeezed in. I wouldn't say a lot. They did have to rewrite Raw to adjust some things, but it wasn't like significant. They had to find it in this, but an awful lot there. And I got word about 2 minutes before he came out. He's here. He just walked right by, and that's why I had tweeted. They just cleared out an area in the back. CM Punk is backstage. it was an all-time great surprise for CM Punk to be there. You shared your thoughts on Saturday, but based on what we've heard since then, how are you feeling?
It's this weird Twilight Zone thing. You know, when you're seeing something and you're not sure if you need to blink a little bit or scrub your eyes to clear your vision so you make sure you're seeing it properly. That is how I feel each and every single time I see the WWE Twitter accounts, the website, or anything promoting WWE and CM Punk in the same image together, because it's been so long, because of how ugly things got between the company and CM Punk and how that grudge was held for several years. It was one of those things. I know in pro wrestling we say never. I know a lot of people said, man, if Bret Hart can come back to the WWE, so can CM Punk. But when you constantly hear somebody speak about how they had a whole time in WWE, speak about how they killed his love for professional wrestling, how they sent him the notice that he was fired through FedEx when the day he got married, listening to that podcast with Colt Cabana, I still remember that like it was yesterday. And then seeing everything that followed after that in AEW, God, that's an entirely different portion of this. It is one of those things where I don't think it's clicked entirely that we're seeing CM Punk in the WWE. So it still sort of feels surreal to me, even though I see it every time. It's like, pinch, is it real?
Big shout out to our moderator, Luis. He's going to be pulling heavy work here. Also, guys, if you want to, troll people about, AEW, Mark, I don't give a shit. Go somewhere else. Go to somebody.
Oh, come on.
Got Domino's for work.
Oh, what the hell?
Damn day on Twitter. What the WWE would want to do? It's like, why would they want it? No, they were.
He bet to make money, not friends. So, did that mean CM Punk might turn heel?
Out that
I don't know why.
in between each one that we got.
Sean,
Emily,
I rushed over to Raw because I thought that Punk was opening up the show.
mhm.
And I rushed in. I had my little creme brulee iced coffee. I was ready to go.
Oh
I was
my
like, by the
God.
third hour, I was like,
Well, unfortunately, unlike Raw, we are not commercial free for our first hour, but we're going to tell you about NordVPN right now so we can get through a bunch of this commercial free. There is no product that we promoted.
Waste of all time, someone who burned every bridge he ever had, was despised by everyone, felt like he despised everyone around him, and was just such a abrasive asshole that just didn't have the personality to mesh in this business. And it's a shame, because if he did, he could have been one of the greatest of all time. That's what we're going to remember him for if shit flies off the rails here in WWE, which is why I'm of the belief that this is actually going to be a success. And I'm going to talk about that as we get going. I'm going to give you an early prediction here that CM Punk's run in WWE will be a success. I don't think he has any choice other than to make it a success. I don't think Punk has any choice but to be on his best behavior, to be ready to do business, to be Hulk Hogan in 2002, who came right in and lost to everybody. Granted, he had won the title in there somewhere, but he was taking a hell of a lot of.
Protect yourself.
Something similar. I think back to Brock Lesnar in 2012. What did he do when he came back after 8 years? Lost his very first match. I think Punk needs an eat shit match. He does. I think it needs to be Punk and Rollins at the Rumble. Rollins beats him completely fucking squeaky clean right in the middle. Would be awesome afterwards if Punk attacked Rollins and then Damian Priest came and cashed in the Money in the Bank. But I kind of think Punk might need to take a similar loss, to what Brock did back 10 years ago. And we'll talk about how this deal came to be, what we know about it. But I'm sure there were some conditions, with WWE bringing him back in. I'm sure Punk was probably very cooperative with all those conditions. Punk, going to need to lose a couple of matches up front. No problem.
Things, Denise. We see it with the TNA. We see it with a whole lot of things. New Japan's under a different regime than it was 10 years ago. So is TNA. So is WWE. ROH is as well.
yeah, I would find it hard to imagine that if Vince McMahon was still fully behind creative, that we would be seeing CM Punk right now. Of course, it's hard to say because that's speaking in hindsight, but it would just be something that would be a little bit harder to imagine.
Cameron says, "Who's next to make the jump?" Sean, you look pretty. Well, I would say QT Marshall, who confirmed Fightful Select report that he had signed an extension through the end of the year, but says that he has resigned from AEW. If I'm WWE, I absolutely want to hire QT Marshall for a number of reasons. He's a phenomenal trainer. He's worked in an office role. He can work with talent at almost any level, but I also think that QT believes in himself an awful lot, and I think he'll probably go outside of AEW and try to prove he can get over.
Right. I think that's what my question was in regards to this, because you mentioned all of the attributes that QT would bring to WWE, but is that what he wants? Like, who knows? He might see himself more as a talent instead of a behind the scenes person. And so I think that would probably influence his, whatever it is that he decides to do. I can't imagine WWE using him as an on screen character. Who knows? Maybe they can. Who knows?
Jonathan Corona says, "I don't think anybody's asked this. How long, or do you know how referees have their contracts structured, and your reaction on Punk on Saturday?" I mean, I had somebody asking if I missed just being a fan because I didn't get to enjoy the surprise. I did get to enjoy the surprise. I found out 2 minutes before. Up until then, people in WWE, like, nobody really knew until an hour before it happened, maybe. And I did get to enjoy it as a fan. He's one of my favorite performers of all time. As far as referees, they are employees. They work a variety of roles. They're on ring crew and stuff like that. Ken Smith says, "SRS in the mud, but have some money anyway." I'll tell you what's in the mud. This new Raw theme that we reported on FightfulSelect.com a couple of weeks ago. It didn't make its debut last week, but it did tonight.
Maybe it's because of that AEW belt hanging in the background. They didn't want.
And there's a couple of female friends of mine on. Remember, we had footage. True.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Wasn't good. I mean, I definitely don't miss the AC/DC song on SmackDown either, though. And I'll tell you why I don't, Denise. Because whenever WWE would send us clips and say, "Hey, you can post these," they'd get copyright struck every time by AC/DC.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like that one. I didn't mind it, but I think I just heard it like a zillion times. And so after you hear a
No.
song like a zillion times, it kind of starts to, like, the interest starts to fade away.
Every AC/DC song is the same. It
I
is
like
the same.
AC/DC. Yeah, but they get your blood flowing though. They really
love the
get you
same
like,
damn
I feel like
song.
just freaking,
You
I
just
feel
know.
going crazy when I listen to AC/DC.
You just know that they're writing songs and they're like, "I'm a washing my hands" over and over again, over and
Yeah,
over
but it's
and over.
fun though.
How
I
about
went
any-
through a period of my life in high school where I was really obsessed with AC/DC. And I had like one album. So I was like the most like basic fan, but I was really obsessed for a good period of time.
Trash.
Hater, Sean. What do you want? What kind of song? What kind of song do you want? Doja Cat? Besides Doja Cat.
AEW already got Doja Cat. I'd like Taylor Swift. How about that?
Oh, shut up. You would not want Taylor Swift. You're just lying.
We got Bronson Big Meat says, "Sean, it's percentage time. What percentage chance do you think that we see Sasha return?" And AJ Lee and SAF said that same thing about the Rumble. I would say 30% AJ Lee return, but Sasha returning in general, I would say 80%. I think she most certainly returns at some point. In the Rumble, I'd give Sasha about a 35. I mean, as of All In, she had a working plan to work with AEW, but things change when you go on the contract.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 80% too for her going to the Royal Rumble. Now I think it's gotten a lot higher. Did you see her tweet, by the way? The I Love Pro Wrestling tweet that she sent out like right away, and I was reading way too much into that. I'm like, what does this mean? What does
She
this
looks.
mean?
She looks great. She looks like she's ready for the ring.
Pretty good. Let's do his. The world was waiting. The excitement. I could taste it all day. The hype was real. I can't wait to sit down and watch Monday Night Raw tonight.
But then we also reported that the Performance Center this year, Fightful Select also reported that he was set for War Games, and that had been planned for a couple of months. He looks Denise. He's enormous.
Damn, bro, do you have Randy Orton's agenda or something? Like, you be knowing everything he's doing. Just like freaking quarterly hour. What does he eat for breakfast, Sean?
Something really healthy by the looks of it.
I'm surprised you don't have that answer. You probably do. You're probably keeping it to yourself.
I could probably find out. His
Yeah,
wife
find
follows
out.
me on Twitter. I'll ask her.
What does
But,
Randy Orton eat for breakfast? That's my big question.
Pereira and Max Pokebra, a big chunk of Hit Channel members there. Good to see Eric Michael. How Wheezy is here, 15-month.
Oh, come on.
I believe the future ETA will be here in Orton.
One bit.
And there's a good opening for him next week to screw Jey Uso out of becoming world's heavyweight champion. So I feel like they have a really good opening. But that's the thing, though, is that Randy kind of seemed like if you know Randy, you have this feeling of, don't want to trust him. You know, this is the legend killer. Don't want to trust him, right? We've seen him do all of these terrible things. Randy Orton's always the person who kind of crosses the line in his feuds and does crazy things and messed up things to whoever he's in the ring with, or whoever he's feuding with. So that's why I can see him doing this to Jey Uso. However, if you just tuned in today and today was like your first time ever watching Randy, he was pretty believable when he told Jey, like, hey man, I've been watching what you've been doing the last couple of months on Raw. I've seen how you've been helping out Cody, and as long as you're not with the bloodline, we're cool. So it was this thing. If you know Randy, you expect for him to kind of screw Jey Uso.
Muted.
Andy, why'd you
Sorry,
mute me?
Listen, sorry. I
Freaking
like,
reflex or what?
No, I please our audience, and
Okay, first of all, that's so rude. In that case, I might as well log off of this show and leave you here by yourself.
I'd rather you not. Will Chisholm says, I know you said Randy was jacked, but he looked like 04 Orton. He did look
Yeah,
jacked. I
and
thought-
you also just ruined my train of thought, by the way. I was literally getting to a point that now just completely derailed.
you
Doesn't
made
even
great
matter.
points.
Of course, Sean muting people here.
Mixtape says SRS heel turn with the ACDC take. Also T Swift. I mean, listen, I think they could honestly find a Taylor Swift song that would be more appropriate than some of the dog shit I've heard them put on the start of WWE Raw. Nothing compares to the original Thorn in Your Eye. That was the best. Rhea Ripley confronted Randy Orton, which led to him getting attacked by Judgment Day and then whipping that ass and setting up a match with Dominic later on. He whips Dominic's ass real bad. And he gets an assist from Jelly Roll Denise, who pushed Dominic, and Dominic slid all the way across into the apron. What did you think of Rhea Ripley's promo with Randy Orton, where she was kind of giving him the lay of the land? And Randy Orton, his first in-ring singles match on Raw since February of 2022.
That's a great question, Sean, and I'm not going to answer it.
Sorry, you're gonna have to.
Why? Just mute me.
You're here. I mean, they asked for it, but I'm not gonna mute you now. Rock Hard
Okay.
Joe Woods
I
says,
was going to answer the question.
well, Randy's gonna drop him with an RKO and say, now we're good, and leave. I could see that, and then Jay sort of stands up for himself. But we'll talk about that momentarily. Denise, what did you think about the Rhea Ripley and the promo and the match with Dominic?
All right, so there's quite a bit to get into here with this. So the first thing that I want to get at is Randy Orton's promo on Monday Night Raw. I absolutely love that the first thing he said was that he was going to have he was going to handle the unfinished business that he has with the bloodline and emphasize that he is coming after every single member. And to touch on the point that we were just talking about with Randy Orton and not trusting him with Jey Uso, even though he said that they are cool, he really, really emphasized in this promo that he is coming after every single member of the bloodline. So it could be taken in any way, right? You could believe Randy Orton or you could not believe Randy Orton. I also want to talk about how we are right now in a situation where when I hopped on to listen to Raw, to watch Raw, I really truly thought that CM Punk was going to open up the show, right? But they instead went with Randy Orton. And it's crazy to think that, like, they are currently in a position where they have options for people to be like,
Come on.
Jesse, did you pick this music out? I like this shit, man.
But they love CM Punk. They will follow him to the ends of the earth. If CM Punk joined their local indie federation, that has cable access television, whatever, they would be sitting in front of the television with a big bowl of popcorn every week watching CM. So imagine all of the people that don't like WWE, think WWE is boring, and they have to sit through 3 hours of this show to finally get to CM Punk, and that's the promo they get. We got good guy CM Punk on the show. This was a love fest. That's what this was. This was CM Punk coming out showing us that he's on his best behavior. He's a changed man. He loves us.
with the whole everything she did with Drew McIntyre, with Jey Uso, even with Cody Rhodes, with Seth Rollins, with all of these people that she's been involved with, and now Randy Orton. That makes the viewers, that makes people see Rhea Ripley as something more. And we don't often get that for women. And so for me, seeing Rhea Ripley's star power really be enhanced in that way is honestly my favorite thing. So just having her in the ring right as Randy Orton is making his big return, like that is freaking huge. And so I did really appreciate that. And then the whole jelly roll thing. Today was the first day I heard of him. I hate to be the Who person, but I went on Spotify and I checked, and he has 9.9 million monthly listens.
Don't just assume that Punk's gonna, Punk at the end of the day, even with his faults, he is a professional. And even though he's done some questionable things behind the scenes at WWE, he's not fucking stupid. And when your legacy is on the line, because
out there and take shots at Young Bucks or anything like, although there was a very what may have been a very subtle shot. Like
Nashville, so that integration made an awful lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad to see Randy Orton back. I mean, I wish that we could get something fresh out of Randy for so long. We got a little bit with the Riddle thing. It was a nice connection, but by the time Randy was coming back, Riddle had sort of worn out his welcome there, and that wasn't going to be an option. But now we're looking at it, and we're like, okay, well, him and Jay is super over now, incredibly over.
Well
Apex,
deserved.
yeah, Apex Caliber says Jay apologized to Randy. Drew has to be seen. Yes, that has to be a catalyst as well. That has to be something that they bring up. Parker says first time since Raw after Mania. I took the time to watch all 3 hours of Raw. Definitely better. Need Orton to RKO Rhea. Very weird to see Punk in WWE. Chris Bacon says crowd was not great tonight. Oh boy, I want to talk about that. They sucked ass. This Nashville crowd absolutely sucked. I think it's pretty much because my friend Steve, not Dr. Death on Twitter, was there. They saw him there and they were like, "What's worth cheering? What's even worth it?" Like, they were horrible. He says, "Randy and Punk are back. Let's go. Keep up the great work, Sean and Denise. Love your videos." Yeah, this crowd. Woo! I mean, now, granted, a lot of the stuff in the ring, they put some pretty cold stuff out there for this audience. They relied heavily on the promos.
There was a look. This was a good Raw. Honestly, I know that a lot of us were kind of anxious to see CM Punk, and it felt like we took a long road trip to get there. But come on, how many Raws haven't we sat through that were like were dog shit? And this one was nowhere near that. I enjoyed a lot of what they did tonight.
My friend Andrea, who's the showrunner for the People's Choice Country Awards, noted that Jelly Roll also closed out their show. So I mean, he's all over the place right now. I do see him.
People love jelly. People love rolls, man.
R-Truth did. He was backstage and was in Judgment Day's clubhouse. I'm sorry. It sounds like they're children when they're like, but our clubhouse.
Do you watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? Have you ever seen an episode?
Unfortunately, I did have to watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when I was a kid, or whatever that was.
No, I don't think it was around when you were a kid.
No,
It's fairly recent, I think. It's like for newer kids.
no, there was another one.
This holiday.
Come on. Enough of these ads.
They were quiet for CM Punk or Randy Orton, but they were overall very quiet tonight. I would have absolutely started the show with CM Punk if that was the most you were going to give us after 10 years. After 10 years, 5 minutes is unacceptable. It is inexcusable. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Exactly.
You could sit there and tell me, oh, they kept it basic. Oh, they took the safe route. I didn't fucking come to this show tonight. I didn't ask for CM Punk back in WWE after 10 years for CM Punk to step up to the fucking plate and give me a sacrifice bunt moving the runner over to second base. I didn't ask for that. Nobody asked for that. Take a fucking swing, man. At least give me a fucking fly ball to the warning track. If it's gonna be an out, so be it. I'm not asking you to go out there and bury fucking Four Eyes, Tony Khan. I'm not asking you to go out there and claim, oh, how unprofessional the last place I was.
But what could they have done differently in this promo? You know what I would have liked to have seen? I think that the first time we see CM Punk back in a WWE ring is going to be the Royal Rumble match. I don't see any reason for him to wrestle before the Royal Rumble. They don't have any pay-per-views left between now and then. You're not going to put CM Punk, I don't think you're going to put CM Punk back in the ring. Maybe they will. But are you going to put CM Punk back in the ring on television and have him wrestle who? Who's he going to wrestle? Dominic? So you save Punk for the Royal Rumble. We had one person on the show already declare the Royal Rumble, and that person is Cody Rhodes. And so what they could have done on this show, which at least would have made it a little more of a newsworthy promo, they could have had Punk go out there and say, look, I'm back for one reason. Yeah, I'm back to not to make friends, I'm here to make money. But I'm also here to do something I never had the chance to do the first time in WWE. Something that I never did. It's the one thing that eluded me and it pissed me off. And this is why I'm back more than anything else. I am here to declare myself for the 2024 Royal Rumble. 10 years after the last time I was in this company, I'm coming back.
The fucking feathers of everybody. No matter what company they're.
All up CM Punk's ass about being a hypocrite. This is, think about all the other people that said horrible things about the company. Bruno, special. Ultimate Warrior, special. They all kind of were welcomed back. Punk is somebody that is coming back at a time where he can still deliver and do things.
I was better off watching fucking 5 minutes of anything else tonight. What did he say? What did he do? He did nothing. He said nothing.
Exactly.
I'm home. He mentioned his wife. Yeah, AJ's doing well. She sends her regards. Great. It's fantastic. What's next? What Larry had for fucking dinner tonight? I'm home. I love you.
But like I said, the majority of the show was fucking bored. Even I was like, please, CM Punk, save us. Come out and do something. Give us something. Even if we don't get a pull apart brawl between him and Rollins or him and somebody else, give us something. They didn't give us.
3 hours of talking is the difference.
No. I know. Everybody's going to tell me in the comments section or on social media.
So that was the CM Punk promo on this show. You got 7 minutes of him talking about how he's happy. Good. That's good to know. Randy Orton, and we're going to talk more about Punk, but Randy Orton is also. Randy Orton had his first match back on Raw in about a year and a half. He had a match on this show against Dominic Mysterio. Cody was the first to declare himself in the 2024 Royal Rumble match, which he almost has to win. If you think about it, I mean, really no other option. He's got to win. If he's going to go to WrestleMania to wrestle Roman Reigns, he's got to be able to challenge Roman Reigns, who's on the other brand. How do you do that if you don't win the Royal Rumble? Usually when you have the Elimination Chamber match, you're wrestling for a shot at a title that belongs to your brand because it is a branded match. It's a Raw match. It's a SmackDown. Whatever title is not being decided with the Rumble winner, right? Usually the other title, they do an Elimination Chamber. Well, if he's on Raw, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So they may be giving away the winner of the Rumble this year. But Cody's already declared himself in the Rumble. I do have to say, there was a very weird scene. Again, the vibe going into this Raw show tonight, it just hit different. And there was a picture that went up on social media earlier today that I think really encapsulates.
It's a show on their channel, is what that is. It is heavily produced and referenced in the future. But yeah, there's a lot there. Kenneth Smith says, put this on the buy a Raw new theme fund. God, I wish, buddy. I wish, buddy. Nice to see TNA class backstage tonight. Dixie Carter back.
Earlier in the night, Cody Rhodes announced himself already as the first man that's entering the Royal Rumble, not theoretically at number 1, but he's the first man out of a field of 30 that has already announced himself for the Royal Rumble. We all know CM Punk is back. We all know that he's going to be at WrestleMania. So CM Punk should have come out and tell us why he's here. We all know that he desires a WrestleMania main event. We all know what CM Punk's dreams are. What he didn't get then, he's back for now. Why didn't you tell us that?
Exactly.
That would have been substantial for CM Punk to come back and hold the microphone.
Exactly.
I came back not only because I love you guys, I came back for you, but I also came back for me. I wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do in the last chapter of my career in that other place. I came back here because I want a WrestleMania main event. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm entering the Royal Rumble. I'm going on to WrestleMania, and I'm going to main event WrestleMania. Simple. No, instead we got, I'm home, I love you guys, and then he closes off the microphone as the camera is starting to fade to black. I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. But you just told us that you love the fans and that you love us. I love you guys, he says. Really? But then you want to close the promo with, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. Is that how you look at your fan base? You know, all because CM Punk is back in WWE, that does not now make him immune to criticism. It actually opens him up to be more.
Here, look at Richie Rebel. Oh my God, hey, I just want you to know, I think you rock. I don't
she tried. She really tried.
As the first time. That made a lot of sense because it gave Tozawa the ability to eat the pin. Easy win for DIY. Then the crowd went utterly absent for Indu Share, which is what happens when
You
have
blame them?
No, you have them pop
Crowd
up
didn't
once
give a shit
every
about them.
however long, say, "Oh, we're here to do something," and then they just go away. But Johnny Gargano pinning Veer, that's not something that probably would have happened under Vince McMahon. But under Triple H, they're like, hell yeah, see if he can drag something half decent out of him. It wasn't great, this part of it, but DIY getting 2 wins before dropping one to the Creeds. We'll talk about DIY first. I was happy to see them get wins because that made a lot of sense. The other teams, I don't think necessarily needed them as much as DIY and the Creeds did.
For sure. So, okay, first of all, let's not completely dismiss that Indus-Share, their hair looked fabulous. Like, let's be real, that was the big takeaway from Indus-Share coming back out. But no, in all seriousness though, I really did enjoy this tag team turmoil match, and I'll tell you why. One, the first thing was that it kind of made me excited about some of the options that we have for the tag teams. You know, seeing them all together in the span of a couple of minutes, it reminds you of the options that we have. But the big thing was when the Creed brothers came out, I was like, yes, the Creed brothers, they got to win here. And when they got the win over the New Day, I was surprised. I really wasn't sure that they were going to actually have them, go all the way, right? So at this point, I'm thinking like, here we go. It's going to be Creed brothers all the way. But then when Imperium came out, my reaction was like, oh shit, I actually don't know who I want to win because I love both of these teams. So this was the first time that I actually felt like I would have cared for either team to win. Of course, I cared a little bit more for the Creed brothers because I think they're freaking awesome. And I love the freaking Brutus ball. I think it's just such an awesome finisher and a cool way to like really make your mark as a tag team with a cool finisher like that. So
bring excitement to the show when he's there regularly. Throw a wrench into the
as singles wrestler. So I really want to get into their run as tag team champions. I want to see them get pushed to the moons. I want to see them become tag team champions. Like, I don't want to wait forever. Let's just freaking go with it. Let's get this going. I want to get the party started with the Creed brothers.
Creeds beat DIY, New Day, and Imperium. This is big. I think you should immediately have them come in, beat Judgment Day, accelerate that dissension with Judgment Day. They are a unit. Judgment Day isn't right now, and I love that. Jay Miller says, good to see the Creeds getting a solid push. They really shined in the match. Hope they beat Priest and Finn and split the tag belts soon. I don't care if they split the tag belts or not. I don't give a damn about that. As long as the tag titles are on both shows, I'm okay with it. We haven't seen that nearly as much. We haven't seen the tag titles on SmackDown nearly as much. Emily Judas says, thoughts on the lawsuit against Vince and WWE that dropped today. I don't have a lot of information.
Him on night 1 after 10 years was not the right way to go. I seriously don't understand why they allowed him to go out there with barely any time, feeling rushed to get that message across. Is that all you think of him coming back? Truly don't understand that move. I really don't understand that move. I don't. And this is something that he's gonna have to live with. He's gonna have to live with all the hypocrisy talk on social media and all the hypocrisy talk in the world of professional wrestling. He's gonna have to live. And I know he's probably got some leeway, who he wants to work with, and some ideas creatively that he'll probably shoot by.
Anyway, Creed brothers aren't beating Judgment Day. Team's not ready. They just got there a few weeks ago.
Advanced the Imperium storyline, advanced the DIY thing, and said, nope, sorry, new challenger.
You got it there, man. You said everything I wanted to say. Gunther continues to be relentless, giving 0 Fs about the Miz whatsoever, and him basically telling him, yeah, you belong in the ring, just not with me. I mean, applause. Honestly, that's all I care about. Gunther's on another level right now, and I'm loving it.
John C says, why did WWE have a commercial-free hour if they weren't using it for CM Punk? I wish I had the answer to that because they probably thought they could steal some Monday Night Football viewers there. But it was pretty puzzling, Denise. Like, I have a great answer for that.
Why do you think I thought that he was opening the show? Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand that they had him close the show so that people wouldn't tune out from Monday Night Raw. I 1000% understand that. But you announced commercial free. They've been promoting. Obviously, we know CM Punk's going to come out. I just feel that if CM Punk's music would have hit like the second Raw intros finish, it would have felt like great stuff. You know what? I think they should have had CM Punk open up the show.
Yeah, we do have a couple more super chats about Punk. Do you know how he was received backstage tonight? I did have one person that I mentioned to Denise before we went on the air that certainly disagreed with his promo. Other than that, I haven't heard a lot yet. I'm sure I will tomorrow. That's like.com. Fahad says, when Sean tweeted, my stance has changed before Punk came out, it hit like crack. Yeah. As of the day before, I put a 25% likelihood on it.
Chicken this.
He's now property WWE and
West Pie Prime. You can make pizza here, back here, and
If a talent knows this too. Should happen. And it should happen, Denise, I think, for the Intercontinental title. I think Brock Lesnar should challenge for the Intercontinental title, something he's never held, and he should lose to Gunther. He should lose.
from your mouth to God's ears. That is exactly. Is that the saying? That's the saying, right?
We'll go with that.
All right, dude, I'm sorry, but I need to see this. I think that right now Brock Lesnar is, I mean, God, I don't remember the last time I saw Brock. It's been like forever. Brock Lesnar, Gunther, I mean, it was teased for a split second at the Rumble, and I thought they were going to go with it like immediately. So the fact that we've been waiting so long, I really hope it's happening at WrestleMania. And I agree with you. Brock Lesnar has to lose to Gunther because if you have Gunther lose to Brock Lesnar, I feel like we're just going to undo everything that we did. And granted, this is coming from a big Brock Lesnar fan. I love Brock. I love anytime he comes out. I always get excited. I'm the person that's marking out for him every time he comes out. Whatever. I need to see him lose to Gunther because Gunther right now is one of the best things that they have going on in WWE programming.
Mixtape says, my kids recognize DIY, and we're like, is this NXT? They fell off WWE years ago as fans to watch AEW and New Japan. This made them watch. That's the thing. Like, you never know what somebody might connect with. SAS says, if Sasha comes back, what would main event day one of Mania? Horsewoman title match or Seth versus Punk? As of now, I'm still going with Rhea and Becky.
I want to see all of that stuff, so I'm cool with anything. But Rhea Becky's the one that I've been pushing for the longest. But I would love to see Seth Punk too.
And we heard Punk say he wants to get everything he can out of this place. One of those things is the WrestleMania main event. How do you think he feels when he's told, no, we're going to go with Rhea and Becky because they were helping carry our show for a year?
Fudge. Can we do a third night? Let's just add it. Hey, that's a tough one, man, because
listen, they've got the talent. If they wanted to do six matches across 3 nights, they're not gonna, but they could.
it's just hard because Roman obviously has to be the main event for the second night.
Punk can main event night 3 of WrestleMania, which is just Raw.
I'm sorry. I love Becky. I love Rhea. That's the match I'm going for, but CM Punk would have to be in the main event.
Jay Hudson says, Denise, you're such an inspiration to many women of color. Your success.
Royal Rumble. He's not coming out at number 1. He is the first man of 30. That will be in the Royal Rumble. We got Shinsuke Nakamura revealing who he has been talking about for all these weeks. And no, it's not CM Punk. We got Bronson Reed versus Ivar, which I thought was great. Tag team turmoil tonight, which I thought the second half of was great. We're going to go over all of it. And I thank you guys for being
tag team for a round. Chad Gable said Otis and Tozawa members back.
CM Punk ever win a Royal Rumble? I
No.
don't believe so.
No.
No, he
So,
hasn't. He hasn't
right
been
now, I
screwed
would
a lot.
say without him even being in it, Punk has got to be a favorite as well. But Cody in the Royal Rumble, before we talk about what happened after.
All right, so Cody Rhodes coming out and basically saying that he's going to be in the Rumble. I think a lot of people, it's a mixture, right? It's a mixture of people going, yay, awesome, because that's going to lead to the match with Roman Reigns, which a lot of people are waiting to finish the story. Cool. But then I'm also seeing a lot of comments with people saying this is the same thing, blah, blah, blah. It's the exact same thing we've been seeing before. Like literally someone sent that tweet to me with the blah, blah, blah included into it. I'm not making this up. and so I am seeing people kind of going like, well, it's the same thing. We already saw it. And yeah, it almost feels like we're remaking the movie, right? Of course, it's going to have an alternate ending, hopefully. But it does feel like we've seen this part already. And I think that is the problem. And you know, with wrestling, especially with the Royal Rumble, you want to have this like win where you're like, oh my God. I think people would still be very excited if Cody won. I'm not going to say that they're not, but what would the reaction? Do you think it'd be a better reaction if CM Punk were to win the Rumble over Cody Rhodes? Like, what would the reaction be?
I think we'll have to wait about a month and a half and see where the reactions are. And I would have it as a TBD. There's always a path to get there. Cody can, win the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Damien. There's a lot of ways you can do that. But
That's stupid.
there has been nothing to indicate to me that Cody should not have won WrestleMania this year. He should have won.
Yes, because now it just feels like we're just doing it all over again. Like we're redoing the homework because you got one question wrong. You didn't pass the test.
Yep. Well, the entire time Shinsuke Nakamura was talking about Cody Rhodes, not CM Punk, not anybody else. He showed up on the screen and missed in Cody's face. So that's Cody's program until the Royal Rumble.
I also did like that he mentioned CM Punk, by the way. We forgot to say that he did welcome CM Punk back into WWE. So I was happy that he mentioned him because that made me because he said it. He said that part before the Royal Rumble part. So that kind of made me feel like those two things, he said it for a reason. I don't know. I'm hoping that means that CM Punk's definitely in the Rumble. That's just the way that he said it. But the Shinsuke Nakamura thing, I guess when he came out, it got a good reaction. I feel like this is one of the best reactions that the crowd gave tonight on the show. And I guess it makes sense because Shinsuke Nakamura was saying that the person was privileged. I don't know. Is Cody privileged? I don't know.
I think in his view, sure.
Yeah, in his view, right? In his view, he could see it as, oh, he came in, he got these bomb-ass matches, and I'm out over here doing this. It's just that I feel bad because in these Shinsuke Nakamura promos, I feel like a lot of it went in and out in terms of I forgot a lot of what he said, and only certain parts stood out to me. And so that's literally like the only thing I remember was like, I'm coming for you and you're next and you're privileged. And that's like the only things I remember from the Shinsuke Nakamura promos. But it got a good reaction. The miss spot was great. I guess it's fine.
Eloquent says, do you think Punk works Saudi? I don't. Do I know if he's appearing on SmackDown this week? Not as of yet. It wouldn't surprise me. It would make a lot of sense. Do you feel as if Punk will try to make amends with the roster to try to get the talent that is apprehensive about him coming in? No, I think that he will largely just act as if nothing ever happened and then just assume clean slate. That's what I believe he will do.
Right.
But
it's not like he's going to go to every person and be like, hey, I'm sorry. Are we cool? Do you like?
Join Planet Fit. This season?
And I was gone a while. And Finch.
Or sooner than later, their time will come. Right now, the Creeds are new. The Creeds have been on the main roster for a month. I think people don't know.
Exactly. Creeds aren't beating
They're trying
Judgment
to
Day.
establish these two guys. They're trying to give them credibility. That's what this was all about. So it was more important for them to go over. Case in point, I talk about credibility. The next team out was the New Day. Kofi Kingston and
with a normal fucking voice. Like, you know, if I'm calling Target customer service, Ivar picks up. So that
or looking at the clock and going, "Hey, dude, I'm here for CM Punk. We need to start speeding things along here." And unfortunately, the women got that little portion of it for the show.
Speaking of, we had Nia Jax against Zoe Stark. I actually liked how they set it up with Zoe backstage. She's so much more comfortable in like backstage segments and stuff like that than just on the mic. It wasn't funny, but I still laughed because it was stupid and ridiculous. But Shayna said, "Nia, why don't you shut your hole?" And
I didn't laugh the first time. I didn't laugh the second time. I guess I just don't laugh at the whole jokes.
I laughed because
don't
it's
laugh
been
at
a long time.
I
It's been a long
know,
time.
I know.
I will say this: Nia Jax's work now is categorically better than it was the first go around. It is safer. It looks better. It's produced better. She does the moves better. I'm not gonna sit here and say like this work is great, but it is a vast improvement over the Nia Jax that we saw last go around.
I thought when Nia Jax came back that she was going to have go away heat for me. And I will tell you, I don't feel that way. When she comes out, I'm just like, all right, cool. That's it.
Yeah.
But I really do hope that this is for a good purpose because I hated seeing Raquel have to take an out to Nia Jax the way that she did. I hated seeing Zoe take an out to Nia Jax the way that she did. So I really hope that Nia being so dominating, especially for the last couple of weeks, I really hope it's for a exciting reason.
K775 says, with Nia picking up wins, do you think she's next for Rhea, or was it the Becky match they teased a couple weeks ago? I would imagine they wouldn't just tease the Becky thing for no reason, and there is such just a story right there with Becky and Nia. And then we get somebody saying, I must have missed something. Nia looked the exact same. I'll tell you what you missed. People getting concussions, getting hurt, ribs broken, kicked in the head, stuff like that. That's what you've missed. So, yeah. But we've also got Alex Diaz saying with WWE getting Jade and Kyrie on their roster, plus maybe Sasha and Julia, Tiffany and Roxanne from NXT, they could revolutionize women's wrestling. They already had revolutionized it for a while, but from an in-ring perspective, yes, they certainly could.
They just need to liven up the storylines because the in-ring work is there. A lot of the women provide that in-ring work. They just need to add more sizzle and spice to the storylines.
We've got Will Chisholm saying, it's crazy how last week Bailey teasing Mercedes. Now this news. You're more in touch with this stuff. Do you think there's smoke, or where there's smoke, there's fire? I haven't heard anything to indicate that she is yet. Although I trust that Boo's very good. But like I'm still working on trying to find that out myself. But it wouldn't surprise me. But I think last I had heard there were some plans for her to do some AEW stuff. We'll see if that's still happening. Will Chisholm says Shinsuke Nakamura name dropped his old New Japan faction. Got people saying that's an Okada tease. Fans, please stop it. I mean, honestly, that him saying he was going to bring the chaos to Cody, a hint than anything that people thought was a hint to Punk or anything like that from Nakamura. Because Nakamura didn't know either, guys. But we got Bronson Big Meat saying, I second that. Denise is great.
And we'll put him out permanently. Orton said he watched the product while he was out. He says he saw all the talk about mommy this and mommy that.
That's right. And the best way to get these guys over is to keep winning. I mean, it seems like such a simple concept, but how many times have we seen guys that get called up and they lose? Nobody wants to cheer for a loser. They need to go out there and win. That's what they've been doing. So they're trying. They're still not over. But when they do certain things and certain like big power moves during the match, that does get over. It does get a reaction out of the crowd. They got some reactions like that during some of the falls in this match. Now, having them hang around Alpha, I wouldn't be doing that.
It's probably likely to be more loyal to me than CM Punk. And so if Punk if Triple H wants to bring him in, I'm approaching Triple H and be like, hey, let me work with him.
Tozawa dancing, like that's not something they need.
Matches. But I just go ahead.
10-10, no notes, loved it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. By the way, guys, we're not going to read derogatory super chats about other writers or anything like that. So don't bother sending them. You're wasting your money. But this was a little slower pace than what their other matches were. But I liked it, Denise, because even though it went to the double count out, they did the thing that I've been begging them to do.
They're going to tease it. They're going to build it up. Nobody's really had the opportunity as a male performer to get their hands on Rhea Ripley, but an RKO delivered to anybody, that's good business. I mean, for fuck's sake, Nia Jax took an RKO, so why can't Rhea Ripley? It's going to happen, and it should happen. It's just got to be done the right way and get the maximum pop when it happens. Randy Orton looked very happy to be back. He looked very refreshed. He looked like he genuinely missed being back on television. But I will say this, man. I know and I get it. It makes sense coming out of War Games. I get that they're just continuing what happened on Saturday night, and it's an easy write-in for the show. But to see Randy back and already kind of falling in line with everybody else on this show, feuding with the Judgment Day. Can't really find any excitement in that, man, especially when it comes in the way of Dominic Mysterio. Now, the Bloodline was mentioned. Randy Orton mentioned the Bloodline. Rhea Ripley mentioned the Bloodline. Does WWE cycle back to the partnership of the Judgment Day and Bloodline now that Randy Orton is back targeting the Bloodline? I don't know. We should have gotten that going into War Games, but they clearly didn't do that. Now, are they going to go back on that, revisit the business between Rhea Ripley, Paul Heyman, Judgment Day, and Bloodline, and try to stop Randy Orton from getting to Rome? That's something to look out for. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be the way that they're going to go. But Randy Orton is on Raw, the Bloodline's on SmackDown, so clearly something has to give there for Orton to go over there on a brand that's not his to get back at the Bloodline. You just can't have him showing up on the other show now that we have separate GMs who are keeping the brand split legit. How are they going to operate that? We'll figure that out. Hopefully they have an answer to that question. But Randy Orton, happy to see him back. Happy that he's back. His aura and his presence were greatly missed. And he's going to be a huge factor in 2024. I'm already envisioning Cody winning the championship and on the road to WrestleMania befriending Randy, only for Randy to turn around and say, Cody, I'm sorry. I'm not your friend. I am, but this is business. Boom. RKO, world title match, leads to SummerSlam. Sign me up. We got a backstage vignette from earlier in the day. This was New Day, Creeds. That's the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus Creed.
Not liked it when people seem to assume why she left. Like when people just, speak for her, so to say. So, you know what? I'm sure one day she'll open about it. Nicholas says, can you see tension with Punk getting the Mania main event instead of what seems like Becky with her contract coming up soon? Yes, I could certainly see that. I could see Becky being like, I worked my ass off for that main event. I put people over for that, or worked hard to put people over for that main event. I did a lot of things to set up that main event, and you best believe she'll stand her ground if she feels like she deserves it.
Hey, but look what happened this past WrestleMania, Sean, with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. They were some that, arguably could have been a main event, and they went out there and they had the match of a lifetime. Chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. Jay Hudson says, which signing is more impactful, Will Ospreay or CM Punk? Where does Mercedes sign both of you can respond. Thanks for unblocking me, SRS. You're welcome. Listen, anybody who wants unblocked, message the Fightful account. Tyler will let me know. And that's it. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll type your little name into the Twitter bar. I'll type my name in, and I'll see what you did to get blocked. And there's a chance that I'll unblock you.
Was Nia Jax's favorite country sing? Maybe. Sorry, don't cancel. Jelly Roll said he was excited to see them in his hometown. R-Truth walked in. This was easily the best part of the whole segment. R-Truth walked in and said his sweet tooth has a sweet tooth, so he wants a Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll failed in explaining the truth. There weren't edible Jelly Rolls there. So Zawa then did his dance that is basically going to deter all other Japanese talent from ever wanting to come to the WWE. What's worse, Danny Garcia or Tozawa? I'm gonna go with Tozawa. Their dances, I mean. No, I'm not listening to Jelly. I'm sorry. You could not pay me enough money to listen to Jelly.
Jelly Roll.
On to other things, move on to WWE later in life, whatever he decides, whatever. But this is like this feels like a perfect place for him.
I completely agree. We got Rock Hard Joel Wood saying, do you think it'd be a failure for AEW if WWE swooped in and brought back Mercedes while they were expecting her to come in? Yes, I do. I mean, that would be a huge, huge loss for AEW if they thought that she was coming in. Cody Bondra says, we had What Culture Pro Wrestling wins Fightful's promotion? Hopefully never. Hopefully never. I'm already nervous enough doing this goddamn match on Saturday. Which, by the way, we've raised over $4,000 for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. You can donate at NAMI.org. If you are making a donation or a pledge in relation to me doing this match, please let me know. But I am so proud to be able to do that. And I hope I see some of you there on Saturday.
Wait, how can we watch your match if we're not there?
You know what? That's a good question. I'll let you know.
Come on, Sean, you gotta promote this. Where's your promoter skills?
Listen, I ain't got to promote anything. They don't get any preferential treatment.
I'm just saying, dang.
Listen, I'm not getting paid for this.
I want to know where I can watch.
Well, I can tell you where you can watch. BLPSlamilton.com is a great way to watch, but it will be streaming live.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be. I don't want to say the wrong streaming service. It's the Black Label Pros on Fight. There you go.
Okay, cool. So I'll make sure to go there.
Who has the better press conference refreshments? How about neither of them? We don't get water, we don't get food. No. WWE is better catering because they actually cater.
Do you remember how depressed I was in London?
Yes.
I was just looking, I was like, nope, I cannot eat this.
Food
No.
sucked there.
And then what did you found? You found candy, I think. And I just, oh my God, it was like the best thing ever. Like when I saw, I think it was a Snickers bar. It changed my life. I was like, oh my God, God bless.
Charles Michael Sinclair says, have you heard what Tony Khan really feels? Well, let me tell you, I talked to Tony Khan the night that CM Punk came back, and his main concern was losing Katsuyori Shibata for an extended period of time. That's what he cared about. He didn't say anything about anything else.
I thought you were about to drop some big ass juicy scoop right now, Sean.
Listen, we drop all kinds of big juicy asses here at Fightful. Muhammad Ali says, Cody Punk Final 2, 3-way at Mania, Cody, Reigns, Punk. I don't hate that idea at all. I don't hate that idea at all, but listen, you know what's going to happen? Roman's not going to take the pin there.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Sean and Denise, from a media standpoint, you feel Punk's return to WWE has had more buzz, less buzz, or about the same buzz as his AEW return? Go ahead.
God, right now it's gonna feel like the WWE one, but you got to put yourself in that place where we were at when he came back to AEW, and the buzz for that was extraordinary. I remember, God, do you remember everybody arguing about the needle mover thing? and the ratings and the numbers and everything. So like put yourself back in that place. I feel like, oh God, I can't even decide which one. I can't decide.
Yeah, I would say the first one because I saw the huge shift that it had on business for Fightful, and this was significant too. I can't underscore that enough. Like,
What about from
this-
the media standpoint that he asked?
The New Day. This one's 7 minutes. New Day.
That would have been a very lame way for him to go from Raw to SmackDown. Just like, oh, I went to go talk to Nick Aldis and I'm on SmackDown. Okay, that would have been fucking. Entering the Royal Rumble. Now he has to fight for the right to be able to challenge Roman Reigns if that's who he wants to challenge at wrestling.
Says Unreal Content. How can anyone not be a member? Well, thank you. It's $5 a month, $54 a year. Says if Cody wins the Rumble, any chance he gets Roman heat, people sometimes hate the same babyface winning. That's always a possibility, especially considering tonight, the promo we're about to talk about, Seth Rollins. He's been so over as a babyface, and he got CM Punk chance in Nashville. It's always possible, but people have been saying that about Cody for almost 2 years now, since he joined WWE, that he was going to get booed, and it just hasn't happened. Do you think it will if he wins the Rumble?
No, and I don't think he'll get booed because a lot of us know, or rather expect, for this to be the direction that it's headed. I don't think he'll get booed. Oh, it would really suck. Can you imagine that? That would really suck. I would feel bad.
Seth Rollins got a promo. He's interrupted by Drew, who said, you know what? You said that I only had myself to blame if I lost a crown jewel, and that's true. And you said it'd be the best thing that ever happened to me. That's also true. I want a title shot. Seth said, you know what? I think some other people deserve it. So next week, I'm defending it against Jey Uso, who is the person that Drew McIntyre hates the most. And listen, I wouldn't say that Drew's reaction attacking a man is completely understood, but he attacked him and then said, you knew I beat him 2 weeks ago. And he's right. He's right. Why does Jey Uso deserve that title match over Drew? Jey Uso, let me run you back through Jey Uso's last singles matches. He lost to Drew McIntyre. He lost to Damian Priest. He lost to Drew McIntyre. He lost a world title match to Roman Reigns. Jey Uso doesn't have a one-on-one singles win since August 4th. So what's happening in character, in kayfabe, is Seth Rollins is only giving Jey Uso this title shot because Jey Uso helped him with more games, and that's it.
I mean, it's not terrible for him for that reason, I guess. But you do make a great point by him not winning anything, so I can't really argue that too much. However, it's pro wrestling. I could see Drew McIntyre just attacking a man out of nowhere. But also, this was hilarious to me. This entire thing was hilarious to me because this reminded me of like Drew McIntyre was the ex, and like Seth Rollins is like, I moved on, bro. I'm giving somebody else a shot. And that's Drew McIntyre's reaction was, how dare it not be me? I'm the one. That's what that reminded me of. But I mean, I love this, and more in particular, speaking with the Drew McIntyre storyline, the Sami Zayn portion of this, him trying to talk some sense into him. I think the way that they've been presenting Drew McIntyre in all of this has been sort of complicated because I agree with a lot of reasons why he's angry.
It's exactly what we thought was going to happen. The Miz was going to put the valiant effort at Survivor Series after the match is over.
Because they're going to win the tag team championships. They very well could. I don't know. Knowing WWE and how high they are on the threes, they very well could be the tag team champions.
They won't. They'll be transitional
What this
champion.
was done for, what this tag team turmoil was done for, was to build a team like the Creeds up to be DIY, the New Day, and Imperium. DIY is heralded by Triple H. He loves those guys. He put them over two of his boys. The New Day, one of the best tag teams of all time. They're Hall of Famers.
Royal Rumble. People say, well, he doesn't have to win the Rumble. He just win the Elimination Chamber. That doesn't make sense. Because if, let's say, CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, CM Punk is going to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. Now they have to decide on a number one contender for the WWE Championship. If they're going to do that in the Elimination Chamber, they're going to do it with people who decide. Raw is already accounted for. Cody Rhodes is on Raw. He's not on SmackDown. So unless something changes, Cody almost has to win the Royal Rumble. Otherwise, how does he get to Roman Reigns? Now they can make shit, right? They can do whatever they like and come up with some cockamamie excuse to get him over to SmackDown. But if you just go by common sense and the way things are normally set up, it almost feels like he has to win the Royal Rumble. He wants to be able to pick and choose who he wrestles. For me, I'd rather go with somebody else. I would love it if Gunther won. If CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, look, I mean, Punk and Rollins is the match that makes sense. I wouldn't even hate that. Do something different. But I don't see any other real pathway for Cody. Now we had Ivar.
You mean Matt Riddle? I don't think he's coming back. He ain't coming back at all. He says, shout out to the boy Jelly Roll doing big things. Working on a project with him. Hi, SRS. What's up? Let's get icy. Oh, we will be soon. But he also sent a big super chat and said, Punk is an effing sellout. All the BS he said in AEW was a lie. I was happy when he came back after 7 years. Most definitely not happy after coming back to the place he trashed over and over again until he got fired. He also says, don't care what the others say. He's a sellout. He's trash now, in my opinion. Hope he finally goes back to UFC and gets another ass whooping. He is very, very serious, very emotional about this. And listen, people that criticize CM Punk have very good points. He has criticized their concussion protocol. He has criticized their doctor. He has criticized their Saudi agreement. He has criticized WrestleMania. He has criticized people there. He has criticized a lot of stuff that WWE does. He said that it took his love of wrestling away from him. Granted, some of this can be rectified under different regimes. How are you looking at that criticism of CM Punk? Because a lot of people, probably rightfully so, are calling him a hypocrite because he didn't seem like he wanted to go back 2 years ago.
So the way that I'm seeing this, and that's why I mentioned earlier that it still takes a second for me to adjust to seeing CM Punk on the screen because of everything that had been said in the past. You know, God, and we were talking about these long AEW media scrums. I've sat.
I see written all over your faces. I failed. I let everybody down as the War Games captain. Ripley said they are a team. They rise together and fall together. Balor told him to relax. Dominic said, it's all good, Priest. Priest was like, are you guys for real? Do you mean that? Ripley said, yes, we're not going to hold a grudge against you for losing. I don't know if those words were meant to sound that way. We're not going to hold a grudge against you for losing. Maybe they did. I don't know. Priest says he appreciates it. Priest asks how JD is doing. I'm doing great. How's JD McRib doing? Finn Balor says he's in the trainer's room, but it's going to be a little bit. We should go check on him. And that's exactly what we go into hour 2. The first hour was completely commercial free. Not the entire hour, 56 minutes at least was commercial free. They cut to break in about 56 minutes. Cody! He made his way out. Clearly, you guys know Cody. Whoa!
Exactly. Same old shit.
Gotta get your 2 woes in there for Cody.
Yep.
Not one,
Wow.
what's 2? at WrestleMania, looking at the aisleway, it may be three woes. He asks Nashville, what do you guys want to talk about? Ridiculous. What a dumb, lame catchphrase. Huh? What do you guys want to talk about? So there are so many stories stemming from this weekend. He said he has a story of gratitude. He thanked his teammates one at a time. He mentioned Seth's name. Fans started to sing his song. He mentioned Orton last. He said Orton was a mentor to him early in his career and remains that to this day. He says he's given him memories, including a new one when he threw a crossroads at Priest. He said he let him win that match. And he starts crackling his voice and he gets all somber here. It wasn't just my match. It wasn't any match. It was my dad's match. Now he didn't really, emphatically do that.
Here, I mean, yeah, look like a warrior.
Sheldon Jackson says, I like Shinsuke's promo where he did the play on words acknowledging his New Japan past and brought up chaos. The faction he led in New Japan, to me, it was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I agree, Sheldon. Like I said, I thought this was more of an on-the-nose reference than anything that people pretended was about CM Punk. He had a group called Chaos. I would love to see him lead a group in the U.S. I would love to see that. I think that would work really well. Muhammad says, RR or Roman Reigns not taking the pin makes sense because the story is that Solo will be the one to pin him. Well, I mean, Jay's already pinned him. So, I mean, not necessarily. If he drops the title without getting pinned, I think that's kind of cheap. But it says Cody belt, Punk Mania main event, Roman Reigns loses the belt. Perfect. I mean, I think you can still do that without Punk winning the title, Cody wins the title, and you pin Roman. I think that, going through all the finishers there and doing all that would work really, really well. So, let's talk about the promo. We have a ton of super chats about it. With about 9 minutes left in the show and no overrun, CM Punk came out to the new version of Cult of Personality, remastered version, which, from what I understand, likely gives.
Hey, welcome back. Cody isn't worried about Punk. Cody's up here and Punk, 5-minute Punk, he ain't anywhere near Cody Rhodes. So I don't think Cody Rhodes has anything to worry about. Seriously. Cody knows where he is in the pecking order, and he knows where CM Punk is in the pecking order. He has nothing to worry about. He said, with all this news being made and all the stories, he'd like to make some news himself. I think at this point you guys truly know me, which means there's only one destination for me. I will be the very first man to declare myself for the 2024 Royal Rumble. All of a sudden, Shinsuke Nakamura shows up on the big screen, and he said Cody needs to continue his story, but he needs Cody to set him free. To set me free, to awaken me, to evolve. I am done waiting. I will bring my chaos to you. So, the arena dimmed at this point with the lights. The lights come back on, and fans start oohing and eyeing, and right behind Cody is Nakamura. Nakamura was standing there, and he blew red mist in Cody's face, blinding Cody Rhodes. Cody was writhing in pain on the mat, selling the mist to the eyes. And Nakamura has been calling out one man in particular for weeks. And we finally got that man, and that man is Cody Rhodes. All the fun I have making fun of Cody sometimes is just overly, I don't know.
thinking about like the last couple of months and what happened with AEW. But
Cody's got heart. Cody's one of the best, if not.
Oh, what the hell?
Also establishes the pecking order. And it shows that Cody Rhodes is comfortable in who he is and where he is, to mention CM Punk. And he's not worried about CM Punk taking his spot. CM Punk is not going to WrestleMania to wrestle Roman Reigns. Get your mind off of that thought. Punk is not coming in to beat Roman. They're not going to take that spot away from Cody, especially with Punk. We're not getting a triple threat match. We're not getting Cody versus Punk versus Roman. No. It's Cody and Roman, and that's it. So cut the shit. You fantasy book all you want. Go tweet WWE 2K games and get Punk in 24. Then you can make your fucking wildest dreams come true. It's not happening in Philadelphia. Now, the feud with Nakamura. Am I disappointed in the fact that it's Cody Rhodes? No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't see what this does for Nakamura. I really don't. We all know Cody's not losing on the road to WrestleMania as he has to pen the chapter to finish his story. But it does give Cody something to do in the interim before we get to the Royal Rumble. Why has Nakamura targeted Cody Rhodes? We're going to need more of an explanation here. You are the chaos. What did he say? To set me free, you awaken me. I need you to evolve. I will bring my chaos to you. I am done waiting. Great. Great. It's not really an explanation as to why you attacked Cody Rhodes. But it does give Cody Rhodes something in the interim to do going into WrestleMania. And I don't really mind that. Because who else is there on Monday before he inevitably wins the Royal Rumble? Speaking of which, he announced himself for the Royal Rumble. Great. I love it. We should get more people doing that. In fact, bring back the gold tumbler and let's start picking the fucking numbers out.
Exactly.
Honestly. Let's go old school, bro. More people should be announcing themselves for the Royal Rumble months in advance. Because it's a big deal. And no, we're not doing qualifying matches for the Royal Rumble.
That's just stupid.
30 of the best. Simple. Chosen by management. The thing is, I don't know how many people are on my side. I don't want Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble. I don't. I don't want him to win the Royal Rumble. It's way too predictable. I don't want Cody Rhodes to enter the Rumble, win it, go to WrestleMania, challenge Roman. It's way too predictable. There's one thing that I can't stand as a fan. It is a predictable Royal Rumble.
Yeah, me too. I talked about this earlier.
Predictable Royal Rumbles are so fucking deflating. I can't even express it to you how deflating they are. Cody Rhodes should win the Elimination Chamber. That should be his way onto SmackDown. That's what they should. Don't know how we get there, but that's how we.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. No need for repeat
The Royal
winners.
Rumble winner should challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. It should be a Raw superstar who challenges Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk coming back. He's already solidified himself as a top favorite to win the Royal Rumble. And more than likely, that is going to be your WrestleMania match. Rollins, Punk, World Heavyweight Championship, main event for night. Cody Rhodes should not win the Royal Rumble. At all. I don't give a shit. Cody's heartbreak will be not winning the Royal Rumble. I don't know how you do it or who is the culprit, but Cody should not win the Royal Rumble. Bronson Reed. He went.
Coming. Listen, man, when Punk plays a character, ooh boy, is it really good. It's really, really good. Maybe it's me speaking for him, and I don't want to do that, but he said, I'm home. And I was like, man, this is very similar to it felt like a sanitized version of his AEW. Said that everybody in the back was so excited. People were talking about like him dropping the title in the trash and all that.
I was expecting for more. I wasn't expecting him to flat out say something like horribly awful about Tony or the Bucks or something like that. But I was expecting a little bit of maybe some of like, a nod to where he was and whatever, right? Like where he was at previously. I was maybe expecting like maybe one or two lines.
Do some talent understand why Triple H brought Punk back? Oh, they all understand why. It's just a lot. I don't want to say a lot of them. Some of them don't agree with it. Do we feel like the return to? Oh no, we read that. Jonathan Coronis is one thing that bothers me. Everybody blaming SRS that Punk wasn't going to show up. Higher ups didn't know. Yeah, I mean Triple H confirmed our.
This ending was very clunky, and this ending was sloppy. Could have been a whole lot better. So Bronson Reed, standing there,
Said, I do. Said that. Said, after I beat you,
Not like, oh, that's
A little bit of they wouldn't be at odds in the front. They might be a little stern. I'm better than you. You're better than me, type of thing. But I think for the most
Whole story this week, and then have them, get called into the office and scolded.
You talking to Sean Ross Sapp, the dirt sheet boy?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story that I believe I've told you.
Very strong. They had the first hour that always swells the audience. They were not going up against anywhere close to the level of football game they were lacking.
home field advantage there for Ivar. Whichever way they go, one of these two guys is the next in line for Gunther and the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, me too.
Being that we've seen Bronson Reed, I don't think it will be Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
There is no pay-per-view in December. There is absolutely no harm or no foul using Ivar in that spot. Quite frankly, Ivar has fucking absolutely killed it since Triple H has run solo with Ivar.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me personally and professionally what I would do, I'm going with Ivar. Because he's earned the fucking spot. And a match with Gunther is only going to raise his stock. He's not beating Gunther. He's not going to be the one to beat Gunther to the IC title, but a match between Ivar and Gunther would fucking bang. It should go to Ivar. Looking forward to it. But clearly, you see that they're setting up for another match between these two. When, where, I don't know. Sign me up. I need more. Nia Jax. Yep.
Yeah, Nia Jax. I'm not going.
Must see Monday Night Raw in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Nia Jax. Great.
Man, Nia Jax on TV. I'm not going to talk about it.
We got Nia and Zoe. Star. Before that, we got a segment taped early.
A lot of people hope that. Amir says Punk looked dead in his eyes. And Mr. Showtime says Punk feels neutered already. I hope the nice guy act is a setup for a heel turn. Love my hometown boy, but that promo was painful to watch. They are short on the very tip top heel side. There's Roman.
So here's something that I think was a little bit of a disconnection here. Because if you recall, Sean, throughout the night when they were promoting CM Punk, Michael Cole numerous times was saying what a controversial person CM Punk was. And they were promoting him as this polarizing, controversial person. And then he comes down and has like the most PG ever promo. I feel like there was a huge, I don't know if that was done on purpose or if that was just a huge disconnection in terms of you're promoting someone as being polarizing and controversial, yet we got nothing polarizing or controversial in the promo. And it was the same thing with Triple H said in the media scrum. He said that, CM Punk is a guy that gets people talking, and that's that. But yeah, I thought that it was weird. That it's like you promote the guy as polarizing and controversial, and we didn't get any of that.
Yeah, Dante says safe promo from Punk. The only thing I believe is the money line. Feels like losing face to secure the back.
Maniac pain in the ass, completely fucking sabotaging Raw after Mania this year, and just being so damaging, to the creative side of WWE, and to see now where they are. Now they're giving you all these feelings where I'm feeling about WWE in a way that I just didn't think possible. You'd have told me this shit 3 years ago. I said, what, are you kidding me? WWE is actually.
Yeah, he's back. Enjoy it. But
Saying, you can understand. Give this guy a title shot, not him. So justifiable anger. And that's going to be your World Heavyweight Championship match right there. The Royal Rumble. We weren't sure. There was some talk that maybe they would go to Punk and Rollins at the Rumble, but that, to me, that's what WrestleMania do. So it looks like we're in for McIntyre Rollins Part 2 in Tampa at the Royal Rumble. But something else they did during this promo, they planted the seeds. They already planted the seeds on Saturday. They planted the seeds even further. Rollins and Punk go toe to toe. By making that the very first thing he addressed in that promo. Why were people chanting CM Punk? Because the video got out and cussing him, looking at the bird, having a meltdown in Chicago on Saturday. Why? Because they wanted it. I know some people said, well, no, maybe it was a shoot. Maybe it was legitimate because it happened off the air. It didn't happen on TV. It didn't have to happen on TV. Do you know how much that video was circulated on?
Nia Jax and Zoe Stark. I'm going to be genuinely
For the entire show. Like the entire show, I was sitting here going, I'm ready to see CM Punk now. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we
Now-
only get a couple minutes. Like,
I want to address something. El Milkman says some real.
In fact, for the 9 minutes that this match was on my TV, I closed my eyes and all I heard was Michael Cole in the background. And I tried my best not to pay attention.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want to know why? Because Nia Jax does not belong on our television.
Exactly. She sucks. She's awful.
And Zoe Stark? I mean, I don't know, man. Seriously, I don't know. She's got the charisma of a fucking taco with absolutely no toppings at all. She's basically a corn tortilla with just meat. That's all she is. There's no lettuce, there's no salsa, there's no pico, there's no fucking creme fraiche, there's no cheese, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The meat's not even marinated. That's in this corn tortilla. That is Zoe Stark.
WWE debut promo. Maybe glimpses of it just because of how surreal it was to see it.
I've changed. I'm home.
Nick DeVito sends a monster super chat. Big thank you, Nick. Says, I've already seen mixed reviews on Punk's promo. I thought it was fine. Felt like they couldn't get all the cards on the table in one night. He signed on Saturday. Is it possible they're still working in a creative direction? Yes. Probably figuring out who the hell is okay working with him, what Punk is comfortable with, because I was told he was made to feel pretty comfortable in the phone conversation. But also, they had to find the 10 minutes on Raw for this because the show was largely planned out already.
Dude, I don't care if I was a talent that hated CM Punk, I would be like still clamoring to work with him because, dude, if I want to elevate my freaking career and get attention and get some buzz, I'm going with that guy who's getting buzz. Like, I don't care if we don't like each other. Let's make some money, dude, because I want my career to go up and you could be that guy to help my career go up.
Look at Santana and Ortiz. They don't like each other. They work together. They capitalize off of it. You capitalize off of it. That's what Rollins is likely doing.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
And I don't blame him. He should.
Yeah, and I thought the promo was okay. It wasn't anything crazy.
There's just no sparks. Like I said, I've sat here and I've listened to him debut on AEW, phenomenal. I sat here and listened to him on Collision, phenomenal. This one was like, oh yeah, he's in WWE. Let's see what he says next. It was not like, but I think I was just so happy to see CM Punk there that I was like, whatever.
Guys, get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. We still have plenty to go because you guys want to talk about this. Knob Slob says that Punk promo was so weird and seemed off. It kind of feels like it was intentional. I don't think like he's actively tanking it or anything like that. But like if you mean from a creative standpoint,
yes.
I could certainly see some corporate Punk stuff going on. Terminal Bliss says, good for Punk making the money. The fangs were cut off at the root. I'm home. Love you both. Wrestling is fun, man. It's hard to buy the I'm home thing after
WWE shop ad spot they did with Cody.
have a friend.
Public wrestling event a couple of years ago. Yes, a lot of dollar signs came with it, but I truly believe for a while CM Punk was like, fuck wrestling. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm not interested. I don't care what you throw at me. I don't like it.
I think it's going to be LA Knight and Logan Paul at wrestling. So it shouldn't be that hard to kind of heat him back up for that feud. They said Logan Paul, by the way, is going to be back on SmackDown. Let's see what he does. But yeah, LA Knight, I don't know. It's kind of overshadowed everything that happened. I guess that's what happens when he's not even on the card. It's Survivor Series. Couldn't even find a spot for him on the show. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven against Natalya and Tegan Knox for the women's tag team titles. Green and Natty locked up for the
Gunther and The Miz does not need to have. Spin. Seth Rollins. He made his way out to the ring. Fans started singing Seth Rollins' song. Whoa.
The promo was incredibly lame and soulless. The thing that stuck out to me most of all were his eyes. Those are the eyes of a man whose heart is not in this. Really comes off like he's just there to collect paychecks and nothing more. Dude, the psychoanalysis
Carry that show.
Yeah, but no one can lie and say that today the main course was CM Punk. So I wanted to see a little bit more time. For sure.
I completely agree. Maybe they'll do a digital thing.
Oh, but
Daniel
I never watched
says-
those.
I do. There's some good stuff there. Daniel says, you think Punk has some clause in his contract that if he does anything off script, like a pipe bomb, he doesn't get paid? Seems plausible. It's hard for me to believe that WWE would not have some sort of protections with this contract. It'd be, I mean, they do with everybody else. I find it hard to believe they'd have him on a no cut. Delayed Grat says, hi, Denise, another guy. The crowd was very, very timid during the actual matches. Completely agree. Dead. Says, I'll also state that CM Punk sounded forced, weird, and insincere. I've changed. I'm home. Off-putting. Were those off-putting to you, Denise?
I think it was. I felt some like heelish.
Ooh, and the rumbles from the crowd. I think that would be cool. I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened as soon as.
Just a little bit. I think it needed a little bit of controversy. I think somebody in the back needed.
I can use some lunch right now. I ended up skipping lunch. Randy Orton was backstage getting ready for his match when Jey Uso approached. And
not feeling great. And I started to get the itch again to be a fighting champion. Says he went to see Pierce earlier in the day and began talking about who his next opponent should be, and all of a sudden Drew McIntyre's music interrupted. He came out to the ring, and he entered the ring, and he gets in Seth Rollins.
Ew, that's terrible, Sean.
This sign was also in the background, the Crimea River
Yeah.
sign. Damn. We're almost at the end of the Punk Super Chats, but man, you all sent so many. Denise getting that bonus pay tonight.
I
My
know. That's
God.
why I was like, I looked at the clock and I was like, yes.
I was like, could you shut up about Ivar already? We're getting there anyway.
Rude.
I'm just kidding. I love Ivar. He's a wonderful man.
But then why did you ask me if you don't want me to?
There for CM Punk back in WWE. But there is more to Drew McIntyre's story. It could be that he is working everybody as well and is upset at the Judgment Day for not delivering their promise. It could be that Drew McIntyre is upset contract extension or is still far apart on negotiations with WWE. He could be upset that CM Punk is back in WWE and the fact that his spot at the top of the card now moves down a notch because another top name like Punk is now back and obviously is going to be inserted into the mix. Could be any one of those things. Could be a mixture of all three of those things. We don't know. But he's upset. But you know what? At the end of the day, Drew McIntyre is a fucking professional, and Drew McIntyre is going to do business up until the end of his contract. Because that's just the type of guy that he is. So, Drew, he wants a handshake. Seth accepted and shook his hand. Drew said, well, Judgment Day promised Jey Uso on a silver platter, and they claimed
What I was going to say in the locker room, and this is what I'm going to say, and I'm saying it now. And I know that because, again, I've sat here and we've listened to CM Punk cut certain promos where you can tell.
The Roman Reigns. Here's my thoughts on it. I know a lot of people don't like that Roman Reigns has held the title for 3 years. It's too hard for them. It's not too hard for me. That's all you got to know. I'm sorry it bothers you guys, but it doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. We can hold it for another year for all I care. There's really not going to be an argument where I'm going to understand.
he has nobody to blame but himself.
Darby Allin of, okay, this many years removed, how's he going to hold up to this? How much?
He was finished. He says he should have hit the Claymore at that point, but he saw Seth writhing in pain. He said he had sympathy and compassion.
JD McDonough in his neck brace. He walks up to him.
He says, do you think AEW and TK had Punk sign an NDA?
That
Yep.
very, 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 very few wrestlers in AEW
To speaking with, especially this week, from the Pro Wrestling Torch. Oh,
No, it was. Those were not. Those were, first off, Cody's was scripted, and it was a lot more personal. Bray's was a lot more emotional. Isaac, I do not agree. I do not think those are the same. And also, you hadn't seen a return promo from them before. That was what was important.
All very different to me, all of them.
Yeah. Evan Newton says, off topic, any validity to Wyatt Hall of Fame 2024? I asked somebody that was close to Bray. They hadn't heard that yet, but they were hoping so. Marquise says, a revamp in staging is desperately needed. For me, the current setup for both shows makes all this feel dull. Any update when they'll switch it up? It's a bummer that Burrow won't play against my Jags next week. Yeah, I didn't hate how Jake Browning did. I did a full show on Common Bengals W about that. I don't know if they'll switch up the sets. I think they will for pay-per-views. I think they realize the minimalist set works well. I wish they would switch to that for television as well, though. Because, Denise, they don't keep those big-ass screens on during the match. So there's really no reason to have those big-ass screens. Why? So you can see the words Randy Orton up there? We don't need that. Who gives a damn?
I don't know. But hey, I did better on my picks this week. I got 12 right. I still lost though, but I came close. I think I was like in third place.
I could have been him. Could have bought a ticket to go to the show.
Drew McIntyre looked great there. I'm loving this heel Drew McIntyre, man. This Drew McIntyre who's absolutely not taking any bullshit from anybody. He looks and sounds great. I thought this promo was good. Can't wait to see a rematch between the two. You know it's coming. He may have to wait till the Royal Rumble. I think that would be a great match for the Royal Rumble. Seth versus Drew round two. Let's do it. Jey Uso's getting the title shot next week. Don't know why. Should be a decent match. And continue the story here with Drew McIntyre. Backstage, Logan Paul, or not Logan Paul. Logan Paul's going to be on SmackDown. We're going to find out who he's defending the United States Championship against next. Backstage, Sami Zayn then confronted Drew McIntyre. Drew told him, not now and not to start. Sami asked, what has gotten into you lately? Drew said Seth truly has something against him, and he can't understand why. Sami says, listen, I can relate. He emphatically said that he's had disappointments too. He said he came up short.
Nanohydroxy.
They had planned for her, but that was in August.
Might be some
Channel
long,
members.
some
We
long
have a
podcast.
date on Wednesday before Dynamite, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Wednesday afternoon, we're going to be watching Saturday night's main event, episode 7. It's up on the members only playlist right
And he looks like he's still winning.
So with, he says, just that is the most vanilla episode of Raw.
I mean, it's not.
He never had to.
I was awake for this one, folks. I was actually awake because at this point in the show, I had poured myself a nice mug. / JD from N.
But I like it a lot more when it's like in the spirit of competition as opposed to like you can tell like this shit made him miserable. How do you think Vince reacted? He probably wasn't thrilled. Vince hasn't liked Punk.
Do you
And
think
being
Vince watches every week still, Sean? Or does he
not live.
Clips spliced in. Just
Afraid that the brass ring is in his.
Suplex Green into the barricade. Niven knocked them both.
Chase, go Vince. Well, no, he ain't. But no, I don't think they're gonna add any more titles anytime soon. I think they got plenty. But I mean, I see what you mean, but I don't think they're adding. Corey, also great to see you at WrestleCade. It was great to see everybody at WrestleCade. Thank you all so much for all of you that I met. I greatly appreciate it. I am a little slightly under the weather. I am very, very sleepy. But now I am on to Chicago this weekend to beat up Shotzi McKenzie, a Black Label Pro. Don't know if I'll physically ever be able to do another match again. So I'm gonna have fun with this one. Denise, tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, we're done? What?
No, we're not. God damn it! Stop sending in super chat. He did take a victory lap after the show. There's your shot, Denise. What a timeline. Listen, if that's as far as it gets, people stretching to make any of that work, whatever.
Wait, I didn't see the victory lap afterwards. The last thing I saw on my screen was just a close up of him.
He did this and ran around. Right
Oh.
Eric Coopsy says, my issue with I'm home is he's only home because he didn't have an option on going back. He wouldn't be home if he wasn't fired. There you go. He could have went back to WWE. Well, no, he couldn't because they wouldn't have him back a few years ago. But Denise, tell the people where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. That's the place to be. I post a ton of content there, do a bunch of streams, a bunch of interviews. You name it, it's on there. YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. And everywhere else at _Denise Salcedo.
Subscribe to FightForSelect.com. We are out.
Well, that will be the end of Fight for Pro Wrestling. Sean Wassap and Denise have signed out. Very long videos here. We got 3 more left.
Labor cares. No one knows a lot.
Controversial about this promo. Unless the idea is that he's a changed man.
Jackie Redmond interview. I mean, love and hate.
Alright. Well, will end the video pretty soon. I think I made it long enough in like 2 hours. These are the podcasts. We got 3 more left. We got Solomon Octor, Dan Tony, JD from New York. Alright.
Again, for the most part, looking at the clock, 80 sitting here going, hear what he has to say. None of this other stuff is working the ring. He's getting anger matches on it. We had plenty of matches.
Exactly.
None of them were anything you have to go back and watch, right?
Exactly.
Tag Team Turmoil was probably the best thing on the entire show, but I wouldn't call it great. Women's Tag Team title match. And Orton and Dominic, who basically just like a tune-up match for Randy Orton. Ivar and Bronson Reed, and made it interesting watching them fight outside the ring in the crowd than it was inside. There's not a whole lot to speak of.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, I think one thing that Punk could have done, as I said earlier, would have been kind of interesting if he is going to be in the Royal Rumble match. I think, have him declare for the Rumble and make that decision. I just think to me that's the most obvious story.
91. WWF was not.
Wait, what?
I don't mean Razor Ramon. Hulk Hogan was still cheering. Hulk Hogan was still the king for the kids. But there were enough adults that
And yelled at Jelly Roll on the outside. I don't know why McDonough went outside to go yell at Jelly Roll. Maybe he doesn't like Jelly. Maybe McRib is more of a peanut butter guy than he is Jelly. I don't know why he started to fight all of a sudden with McJelly. Maybe he was upset because McJelly gave R-Truth.
Well, will just end the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I will be back with more. I will do an AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. This is Mr. Black Hammer 2021. I'll see y'all later.